Check that. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is wonderful to be together for this Share Shabbat as we welcome in September and the month of Elul. Hopefully on the way in, you grabbed a Share Shabbat packet rather than the card and a song sheet for this evening. And I'll invite you to take a moment to say Shabbat Shalom to somebody near you, or protest not being allowed on the beam. If anybody else feels that strongly, let me know. I'll give you an HUC application. And we'll start together on our song sheet with Lecha Dodi.
Likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabla lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabla. We will continue with the words of Mayafeh Hayom. Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. We continue with the words of Hine Matov, how good it is, how pleasant it is for us to be together. Hine Matov Manai Sheverachim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Manai Sheverachim Gam. Tov u'manai sheverachim
pack it. Jewish tradition encourages introspection and self-examination, cheshbon hanefesh, during the month of Elul, as preparation for the days of awe. Tonight, as we pause for our day of rest, we thank God for this holy day and begin to reflect on our relationships with ourselves, each other, and with God. We continue with an opening meditation for this particular moment in time. Together, before we slip too quickly into the season of the soul, let there be a Sabbath of Sabbaths for the heart. Before the music of creation's majesty, let there be a silent praise of existence. Before the feast of sanctified words, let there be a poetry of solitude. Before we enter the palaces of prayer, let us find within ourselves a place of calm. Before we revel in the wondrous and sublime, let there be an honest inward gaze. Before the rites and ceremonies of awe, let there be quieter days, an island of attentiveness. I invite you to rise in body or spirit as we continue with the Baruch Hu.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Barechu et Adonai Leolam vaed, ya la la, ya la 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 la.
We continue. We lie down in darkness. This day with its burdens passes away. Raise us up to the light of a new day. Change us with the season. Give us rest and renewal. Make us eager for the dawn.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated. A special Ve'ahavta for Elul. You shall love the ones who are close with all your heart, with all your spirit, with all your strength. Remember these words, inscribe them on your heart. Love them when they struggle, when they sadden and disappoint you. Love them when they fail. See the good within them even when they can't. Look at them and listen even when it's hard. Be grateful for their guidance, even their reproof. When you rise up at dawn, begin again. Praise them for their deeds at home. Speak to them in public with respect. Bind yourself to the ones you love with promises kept and vows fulfilled. Open to them the gates of your heart, the doorway of your soul, and let them know you. So shall the ones you cherish feel your love, your presence, and your we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness. There is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. And Miriam was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she wove was one which sang our history. With every strand and every set trusted her delight. A woman touched with spirit, she dances toward the light. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. When Miriam stood upon the shores and gazed across the sea, the wonder of this miracle she soon came to believe. Whoever thought the sea would part with an outstretched hand, and we would pass to freedom and march to the promised land. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. And Miriam the prophet took her timbrel in her hand, and all the women followed her just as she had planned. And Miriam raised her voice in song, she sang with praise and might. We've just lived through a miracle, we're going to dance tonight. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. We will join in Michamocha
Page 3.
on page 3. Ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, Torah tehilot osek melech, Torah tehilot osek melech. Malchutecha ra'u banecha, bokei hayam mipnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze Elianu ve'amru, ze Elianu ve'ameru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la.
We rise on page 3 for the tefillah.
Adonai tzifatav tiftach ufi yagid techiz. Baruch atah Adonai Imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Chanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'nechem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Vezrat Sarah.
We continue at the bottom in the English. God, each of us hears you differently, yet you are the one God for us all. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob each heard you in a different way. To Abraham you gave courage. To Isaac you brought comfort. Jacob learned that you are everywhere, even in places he didn't expect to find you. Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah each heard you in a different way. To Sarah you brought laughter. To Rebekah you gave strength. To Rachel you taught kindness. And to Leah you brought love. May each of us hear you in our own special way, and may we always feel your protection. We praise you, eternal God. You are the shield of Abraham, the help of Sarah, the one God of all Jews and all the world. You may be seated. We take just a moment for our own silent prayers and meditations. Torah service, and on page 4 you'll see in the middle that we have our blessings before, not the blessings before the reading of Torah, but our blessings as we prepare to take the Torah from the Ark. Please rise, and we'll look to Ki Mitzion. And the words can be found, if you need them, for the rest of the Hakafah on your Daf Tefillah.
Ki Mitzion Tetzei Torah, Ki Mitzion Tetzei Torah, Udevar Adonai Mirushalayim Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah Le'amo Yisrael B'kedushato Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shemo.
Our Torah portion this evening is Parashat Shoftim, and just to give you a visual, you can see that we are now in what book of the Torah? Does anyone remember? Deuteronomy. It's pretty obvious when we get to this end. So I'm going to have you think about if there's anyone in this room who's really strong on their right hand who wants to lift a Torah after. This is your opportunity to prepare yourself. The part that I'll be reading is on page 1294 in the Chumash, if you were able to grab one. The blessing before the reading of Torah can be found in your prayer sheets on page 4. Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach, Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam vaed, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah. Shoftim v'shotrim titen lecha, b'chol sha'arecha, asher Adonai Elohecha noten lach, lishvatecha. Uvshofte et ha'am, mishpat tzedek lo tateh mishpat, lo takir panim v'lo tikach shochad, ki hashochad yaver enei hachamim. V'yisalef divrei tzadikim, tzedek tzedek tirdof lema'an techiyah, v'yarashta et ha'aretz asher Adonai Elohecha noten lach. Lo tateh lecha asherah kol eitz, etzel mizbach Adonai Elohecha asher ta'aseh lecha v'lo takim lecha matzeva asher sonei Adonai Elohecha. Lo tizbach Adonai Elohecha shor v'seh asher yihyevo mum, kol davar ra ki toavat Adonai Elohecha hi. Ki yimatzeh b'kirbecha be'echad she'arecha asher Adonai Elohecha noten lach. Ish o isha asher ye'aseh et hara be'enei Adonai Elohecha la'avor brito v'yelech v'ya'avod Elohim achirim v'yishtachu lahem u'lashemesh u'liyareach u'lechol tzava hashemayim asher lo tziviti v'higad lecha v'shamata v'derashta heitiv v'hine emet nachon hadavar na'asteh v'hatoava hazot b'Yisrael. Tried to end on one of the less sad notes, but I'll read that in a minute. Together, our blessing can be found on page 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam. This has one of the most recognizable words or phrases that we know from the Torah in it. I'm sure you will recognize it. You shall appoint magistrates and officials for your tribes and all the settlements that the Eternal your God is giving you, and they shall govern the people with due justice. You shall not judge unfairly. You shall show no partiality. You shall not take bribes, for bribes blind the eye of the discerning and upset the plea of the just. Justice, justice shall you pursue, that you may thrive and occupy the land that the Eternal your God is giving you. You shall not set up a sacred post, any kind of pole beside the altar of the Eternal your God, that you may make, or erect a stone pillar, for such the Eternal your God detests. You shall not sacrifice to the Eternal your God an ox or a sheep that has any defect of a serious kind, for that is abhorrent to the Eternal your God. If there is found among you, in one of the settlements that the Eternal your God is giving you, a man or woman who has affronted the Eternal your God and transgressed the covenant, turning to the worship of other gods and bowing down to them, to the sun or the moon or any of the heavenly host, something I never commanded, and you have been informed or have learned of it, then you shall make a thorough inquiry. If it is true, the fact is established, that abhorrent thing was perpetrated in Israel. Assessing and appointing judges for ourselves and those in our community who will uphold that. Because as it continues, it reminds us of all the things that we often make as a community mistakes about and sin and need to find justice in a way that is being carried out in justice. Do I have any volunteers who would like to lift the Torah? Alexandria, I saw your hand first. Please rise.
Moshe lifnei v'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai beyad Moshe.
seated. While the Torah is in our midst, we take a moment to offer some prayers for our community. We offer prayers for Israeli soldiers or civilians who are being held captive. Our God, the one who raised Joseph up from the pit, be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. Send complete rescue and full redemption to those held captive by the enemy. Strengthen their spirit and bring them our prayers, that they be protected from all harm. Implant understanding in the heart of the enemy, that they may return the captives in wholeness of body and spirit. Grant wisdom to the IDF, that they may secure freedom for the captives without loss of life. Grant strength of spirit and courage of heart to all the sons and daughters of Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar, to release bond upon me, and I will answer them. I will be with them in distress. I will rescue them and honor them. At this time, as we've been doing over the several months that we've been having Share Shabbat now, we take this as an opportunity to offer blessings within the congregation to those who are our newest members. And we have two of those who are in our midst tonight. So I'd like to invite Sheena forward. Surprise. And Alexandria, if you can come forward. What?
So soon.
I know.
I'm coming back up so soon.
Most people don't complain. Bruchim habaim, blessed are you who come into God's house. Alexandria and Sheena, we formally welcome you into your new synagogue. We, the Temple Israel community, rejoice as we welcome you into our midst, who so devotedly joins us as a new member. When you both found a synagogue to find your home, to call your home, you have found yourself a holy community in which the divine presence dwells. May you never be alone within our community. May we always be willing to support each other. As one community tonight, we celebrate this remarkable occasion by joining together in Shehechianu, praising God for allowing us to reach this joyous moment. This should be on. Welcome gifts for you, including your own set of candlesticks, a challah, and a copy of Mishkan Tefillah for your ability to practice that, even if you're at home. If you need to watch virtually, let us know that you are a part of our community as a whole. Thank you. Thank you guys. Welcome. At this time, we turn our blessings to those who are also in our community, but not in this room with us this evening, or perhaps in this room with us this evening, but those that we keep near and dear to our hearts as they are searching for wholeness and healing in their lives. We say, Mishaberach avotenu ve'imotenu, Mishavarech ve'yarpeh et ha'cholim. May the one who has blessed and kept our ancestors in every generation continue to bring blessing, healing, shalom to those who we love. We continue with the names of those on our Mishaberach list: Melinda Glovka, Jordan Arms, Lonnie Carpenter, Ella Dubrow, Jeremy Watts, Brandon Watts, Bert Seidel, Bruce Brenner, Barb Gronefeld, Isaac Spicer, David Hernandez, Norman and Carol Leist, Andy Leifheit, Rob Mandel, Ken Rosenzweig, Kyle Kreider, Anna Pullman Garcia, Marla Harlan, Bobby DeSalvo, Justin Zeisloff, Natalie Katz, James Weston, Cynthia Weston, Isaac Stoller, Kazimira Cairo, Mariah Strickland, Eileen Eady, Catherine Cooper, Sid Gross, Cicely Nathan, and Gary Pacernick. If there are others to be mentioned or perhaps pronounced more correctly, please call those forward as my hand goes around. We continue with the words of Mishaberach, which can be found on page 5 in your prayer sheets.
Source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
A story for you this Shabbat that tangentially came to mind after being offered, I think there were carrots from people's gardens and tomatoes from people's gardens and other vegetables from people's gardens that have been being shared around our community deliciously. Not a vegetable, but this one is of a fruit tree. In a great oak forest where trees grew tall and majestic, there was a single little apple tree. It was the only apple tree in the forest, and so it stood alone. And when winter came, the snow fell to the forest floor, and it covered the branches of the little apple tree, and the forest was quiet and peaceful. One night the little apple tree looked up through its snowy branches, up at the sky, and saw a wonderful sight. Between the branches of all the bigger oak trees, this little apple tree saw stars in the sky, which appeared to be hanging off the branches of the oak trees. And the little tree called out to God, "Oh God, oh God, I how lucky are those oak trees to have such beautiful stars hanging on their branches. I want more than anything in the world to have stars on my branches just like the oak trees. It would make me so truly special. And God smiled on the tree and said, have patience, little tree. And as time passed, snow melted and spring came. And the apple tree had blossoms on its branches. Birds came and rested on it. People walked and admired the blossoms on the tree. But the tree did not notice this. The apple tree still spent each night looking up at the sky so filled with stars and cried out to God about how it wanted more than anything else to have stars in its tree and on its branches, just like the big oak trees. And once again, no, not quite yet. So God looks down on the apple tree and says, you have gifts. Isn't it enough to have shade to offer people, fragrant blossoms, branches for birds to rest on so they can sing you their songs? And the apple tree sighed and said, I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but that's not special enough. I do appreciate how much pleasure I give to others is stars, not blossoms, not branches. Well, I guess stars on the branches. And God smiled and once again said, be patient, little apple tree. And the seasons changed again from spring into summer and towards fall. And the apple tree was filled with many large, round, red, beautiful, delicious apples. And people walked through the forest and would reach up and pick an apple and eat it. And still, at night, the tree would look up and see the stars and continue to beg to God to have stars on its branches in order to feel truly special. And so once again, God reminds the apple tree that isn't it enough to offer apples to the people? Shouldn't that give enough satisfaction and pleasure to feel special? And the apple tree answered by shaking its branches from side to side. And in that moment, God caused a wind to blow. The great oak trees began to sway. The apple tree began to shake. From the top of the apple tree fell one apple. And when it hit the ground, it split open. Look, said God, look inside for yourself. What do you see? And of course, the apple tree looks down and sees in this apple that is split open the seeds that are in the shape of a star. And then the tree realizes that all along it had stars on its branches. And of course, in this version, God laughs a little bit and makes the point that you do have stars on your branches. You just didn't know it. And as we're enjoying fresh produce from our own gardens, as I'm reminded of apple picking events for various organizations coming up, this story came to mind. And in addition to being kind of silly, as we begin Elul, to remember and remind ourselves that sometimes it's easy to look out in the world and feel alone and small and impatient and want desperately what others have, and that we can find a lot of that by looking inside of ourselves, appreciating what we have, and at times seeing what others see within us, even when we have trouble seeing it for ourselves. And that is my story for you on this Elul September Share Shabbat. We'll continue towards the bottom of page 5 in your packet as we return the Torah to the Ark. Please rise if you are able.
Eitz Chaim hi lemachazikim ba b'tochecha me'ushar. Eitz Chaim hi lemachazikim ba b'tochecha me'ushar. Shalom, 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 shalom. לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כאויי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
Loved ones whom death has recently taken from us. And we remember those whose names were mentioned, or about to be mentioned now, better yet. We are in a period of Shiva for Bonnie Newman, and a period of Shloshim for Catherine Crafton. We are observing yahrzeits for David Barrar, Evan Pearl Bainbridge Blant, Abe Block, Beatrice F. Brook, Billy V. Carpenter, William H. Gitman, Dr. Julius Gruenberg, Harry Hackle, Charlotte Horwitz, Faye R. Israel, Thelma Karp, Robert Kemmerer Jr., Sidney K. Lambden, John Law, Benjamin Lehman, I. Jacob Levinson, Sarah R. Levine, Shirley Levine, James J. Lewis, Max Marcus, Ian G. Mendelson, Norman Miller, Abraham Moltz, Phoebe Resnick, Dorothy Reiterband, Lynn Spandau, Goldie Stein, Gertrude K. Sussman. We also keep in mind those whose names remain in our thoughts and go unmentioned, and all for whom there is no one left to say Kaddish. I invite you to call forward any other names or names that need to be pronounced more correctly as my hand goes around the room. I invite those who are in mourning or who are remembering to please rise first. And then we rise as a congregation to read the words of Kaddish, which you can find on the bottom of page 6. Yitgadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon v'yomechon, uv'chaye dochol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehe shmei rabba mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal. Shmei dekudsha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May their memories always and only be with Achat Sha'alti, which is Psalm 27, which is one that we read during the month of Elul.
לחזות בנועם אדוני ולבקר בחלום לחזות בנועם אדוני ולבקר בחלום שבתי שבתי בבית אדוני שבתי שבתי כל ימי חיי שבתי שבתי בבית אדוני שבתי שבתי כל ימי חיי.
We turn to the middle of page 7. The shofar is sounded from the first day of Elul until the eve of Rosh Hashanah to signal the approaching days of awe. The sound of the shofar implores us to engage in cheshbon hanefesh, an accounting of the soul. Amid shouts of joy, to the sound of shofar, the Holy One ascends. Let us ascend. As we hear the call of community, the voice of return. Let us ascend. As we feel the pull and power of tradition. Let us ascend toward forgiveness and peace of mind, toward heartfelt change and acts of repair. Let us ascend to the sound of shofar. Let us enter the gates of teshuvah. Please rise. Baruch atah Adonai, shomea teruah. I say, Mariah, I was hoping I could get you, but I don't know if you're feeling up to it.
This one's not my shofar.
What? Yep. I say, I don't know if you all remember, but Mariah wowed us last year because of her extreme skills in the brass department. Well done. Yeah. And that was without practice. We'll continue with our closing prayer. We thank you, O God, for our family and for what we mean and bring to one another. We are grateful for the bonds of loyalty and affection which sustain us, and for the capacity to love and to care. Bless our family, our congregation, and our people with health, happiness, and contentment. Above all, grant us the wisdom to build a joyous and peaceful home in which your Spirit will always abide. Amen. We wish you a Shabbat Shalom. We will continue at this time into the Great Hall for our blessings before dinner. I want to again